Hello everyone, welcome to How to Play 13. My name is Yoon and I'll try to make it much informed and simple as possible. Now to begin, this is the order of the suits: spades, clovers, diamonds, and hearts. Hearts being the highest, spades being the lowest. Now, you can play up to 4 players and as little as 1 other player, so you can either do 1 vs 1 or 3 people free for all or 4 people free for all. Now, when you're, let's say, playing with 4 people, 13 cards per person, because there's 52 cards in the deck, and whoever has the 3 of spades will always start. What I mean by that is 3 of spades is the lowest card in the game, so the person with the lowest card in the game will always start the game. Now, the person who starts the game can play it however he wishes to. Now, he can either play it single, which has to be countered by the next person with a single of higher suit or a number. So for example, I can counter it with a 3 with a higher suit, or I can counter it with a higher number. Now, the person can also start by playing doubles, and the same rule applies. So if I play 2 3s, the next person has to beat it with a higher in suit or higher in number. And the same rule applies for triples and quadruples and etc. Now, a person can also play what's called a straight, which is a minimum of 3 cards forming 3, 4, 5. This is called a straight. So this is called a 3 card straight, and then it can go up to as 3 to ace, and minimum of 3 cards. You can start by 4 cards or 5 cards, whatever the player who chooses to start wishes to. Now the same rule applies on 3 card straight as it did on the countering it. If I play a 3 card straight, it has to be countered by a 3 card straight with a higher in suit or in number. That same applies for if it's a 5 card straight and etc. Now, the thing about 13 is this is where it gets a little bit dicey, and some of my information might come off wrong when you're playing with your group of friends. For each players, there's different ways they play, different rules that they set up. There is no really a universal rule of this is how it's supposed to be played. Now, Tien Len is Vietnamese style, where it's originated. They can tell you more about how they play. But this is more Americanized style, where you can basically create your own rules. So before you start playing 13, really talk to your friends and set up some rules and guidelines as to how you want to play this game, because that's really important, because the more you play, the more weird situations come across, and you guys will experience that. So the next thing I want to really talk about is one of the things I didn't talk about is if you're playing with 1 vs 1 or 2 other people, and no one has the 3 of spades, the next person who has the lowest card of number and suit will start. So for example, if no one has any 3s and I have a 4, I can start with a 4. As I said again, anywhere I choose 4, 5, 6, or double 4s, triple 4s, and etc. Now, the 2s are the highest cards in the game, and the 3 are the lowest cards in the game. Now, this is where it gets dicey. You can either put 2s in your straights, or for example, Queen, King, Ace, 2. Some people choose to do that, some people don't. And also there are rules where you cannot end in a 2. So if your final cards are 2 and a 4, you can't play a 4 and have a 2 at the end. That's an automatic loss. So that's a rule that you have to really choose with your friends. But for me personally, I choose not to end in a 2 because it gets more strategic and more fun that way. And there are a couple of ways to counter a 2. Now for a single 2, as I said again, higher in suit, and 4 2s. If you start out with 4 2s, that automatically wins. You win the game. And another auto win is 3 to ace with a 1 single card. 3 to ace is 12 cards. That's considered an auto win. But again, that's something you can talk out with your friends. But to counter a 2, a single 2 can be countered by a paired straight. And to show you an example is 4 4 5 5 6 6. A paired straight is able to counter a single 2. 3 paired straight is able to counter a single 2. For 2 double 2s, a 4 paired straight can counter double 2s, and if it gets as high as triple 2s, a 5 paired straight can counter triple 2s. Now, another thing that will come about is what's called a bomb, or four of a kind. And on a 4 of a kind, 4 of a kind can either counter a single 2 or a double 2, or it really depends if you guys want to set this rule, a triple 2. Now, something I should explain is if someone plays a single 2, they can counter it with a massive paired straight. There's no rule saying, there's no rule that I'm aware of that states that you cannot counter a ridiculous 5 6 paired straights with a single 2, because the objective of the game is to get rid of your cards and finish with no cards in your hand as quickly as possible. And I think I explained everything. That's it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment below and I'll answer that as quickly as I can. And if you would like to see more examples of how to play 13, if you're playing for money, if you're gambling for playing 13, I can tell you my personal experience. My high school senior year, I made $800. So I've been around playing 13 a lot. I know, I can tell you tips and tricks. So please feel free, leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and bye-bye.